How does a simple piece of woven cloth command astronomical prices, sometimes reaching thousands of dollars, while appearing as delicate as a whisper? It is a profound contradiction. A fabric that feels virtually weightless, yet acts as an impenetrable shield against the harshest winter cold. Welcome back to Learning with Pratik. If you're new here, I try to increase neuroplasticity by exploring a new topic every day. I do all the reading and researching so you don't have to. Today, we're unpacking an explanator on a textile so revered it was historically dubbed soft gold. We are looking closely at the biology, the economics, and the uncompromising human craftsmanship that defines genuine pashmina. Consider this single, staggering metric: 80 to 170 grams. That is the entire annual wool yield of a single Changthangi goat. To put that into perspective, it means that a standard, single pashmina shawl demands the entire yearly coat of roughly 3 to 4 distinct goats. It is a biological bottleneck of scarcity. In a modern era defined by endless mass production and fast fashion, this raw material simply cannot be rushed, synthesized, or factory farmed. It must be slowly, patiently gathered from the natural world. Section 1. The Diamond of Textiles, the Mystery of Value. To understand why this fabric is so heavily guarded by tradition, we really have to look at its legacy. For centuries, this weightless, buttery smooth fabric captivated the elite. Mughal royalty adorned their courts with it, and European aristocracy treated it as a supreme status symbol. But its prestige isn't just a byproduct of royal marketing. It is a direct result of its unmatched physical properties. It possesses a delicate warmth that completely defies its sheer feather-light profile. Let's formally define what we are talking about here. The word pashmina is derived from the Persian word pashm, which literally translates to soft gold. The roots of this craft trace all the way back to the 14th century. A Sufi Muslim saint, Mir Syed Ali Hamadani, traveled to the region and discovered the incredibly fine wool produced by the goats in Ladakh. Recognizing its sheer potential, he introduced advanced weaving techniques to the artisans of Kashmir. This effectively planted the seeds for an industry that would sustain the region's economy and define its cultural heritage for centuries to come. Section 2. Origins of soft gold, surviving the Himalayas. The geography here is not just a scenic backdrop, it is the fundamental reason pashmina exists. The Changthangi goats do not live in lush, gentle pastures. They are herded by the nomadic Champa people in the high-altitude cold deserts of Ladakh, a rugged, unforgiving terrain perched 14,000 feet above sea level. This is a landscape where survival itself is an achievement, and this brilliantly illustrates a fascinating biological paradox. The freezing, deadly winter environment of the Himalayas is the exact catalyst required to force the goat's biology to produce this life-saving undercoat. If you take the goat to a warmer climate, the luxurious wool simply stops growing. When spring arrives and temperatures rise, the goats naturally shed this insulation. The Champa herders then carefully hand-comb the wool from the underbelly. It is never aggressively sheared. This gentle extraction preserves the microscopic integrity of the fibers, ensuring the final product remains unimaginably soft. Section 3. Cashmere versus pashmina. Clearing the confusion. If you've ever shopped for winter wear, you have likely seen these terms used interchangeably. They are not the same. Let's cleanly separate genuine pashmina from the broad umbrella of commercial cashmere, because the textile industry frequently relies on this confusion to upsell inferior products. So the crucial point is this. All pashmina is cashmere, but not all cashmere is pashmina. Cashmere is a remarkably broad term. It applies to wool harvested from various goat breeds across Mongolia, China, and Scotland. It's a wonderful material, but it is relatively plentiful. In stark contrast, we have pashmina. This is the absolute finest, rarest, and most delicate expression of cashmere. It is geographically restricted exclusively to the Changthangi goat of Ladakh. It is a micro-niche within the cashmere market, demanding a completely different level of artisanal processing. Section 4. The Cost of Craftsmanship, a Labor of Love. The rarity of the wool only accounts for half of the price tag. The remaining value is embedded in an incredibly painstaking, anti-industrial human element. In an era where a factory can churn out 1,000 synthetic sweaters in an hour, authentic pashmina forcefully demands time, patience, and human hands. This builds a timeline of creation entirely devoid of electricity and automation. Every single step here is manual. After the gentle hand-combing of the raw fiber, women artisans meticulously clean and hand-spin the delicate wool on a traditional spinning wheel, known as a charka. The threads are so incredibly thin that modern industrial looms would simply snap them. Therefore, they must be hand-woven on traditional wooden hand looms. Following this, the fabric is treated with natural, eco-friendly dyes and finished with delicate hand fringing. There are absolutely no shortcuts. The economic reality of this art form is stark. Weavers can produce mere centimeters of fabric per day. When you consider that these artisans are often integrating complex embroidery and natural dyes extracted from minerals and plants, the timeline expands exponentially. You aren't just paying for goat wool, you are paying for weeks, sometimes months, of a master artisan's focused, irreplaceable life. Section 5. How to spot fakes, protecting your investment. Because of the extreme value of soft gold, the global market is absolutely flooded with counterfeits. Viscose, acrylic, and cheap blended wools are frequently mislabeled and sold to unsuspecting buyers at luxury markups. Here is how you actively protect yourself. We can break this down into 3 sensory tests. First, the touch test. Real pashmina feels buttery smooth and holds a gentle, natural warmth. Fakes often feel cold, slippery, or overtly synthetic. Second, the famous ring test. A genuine, standard-sized pashmina shawl is so incredibly fine that the entire garment can be pulled smoothly through a small finger ring. A synthetic blend will catch and bunch up. Finally, the visual test. Look closely at the weave. You want to see slight, beautiful irregularities. If the grid is mechanically, flawlessly perfect, it was made by a factory machine, not a human hand. Now for the definitive, expert-level authentication, the burn test. While you shouldn't try this in a store, it is the ultimate proof of origin. Because genuine pashmina is a 100% natural animal hair, burning a single thread will smell exactly like burnt human hair, and it will crumble into a soft powdery ash. Conversely, burning a fake synthetic fiber will instantly smell like toxic plastic, and it will melt into a hard, unyielding bead. But if you want a guarantee without setting your clothing on fire, simply look for this, the Geographical Indication, or GI label. This is a formal certification issued by the Government of India. It acts as an absolute guarantee that the product was ethically sourced from the high altitudes of Ladakh and crafted using the strict traditional handloom methods of Kashmiri artisans. It is the gold standard for your investment. Section 6. Preserving a living heritage, more than just fabric. Ultimately, true pashmina transcends the concept of a luxury accessory. It represents a vital, living heritage. It is a testament to the resilience of the Kashmiri and Ladakhi communities who have sustained their intricate art form through centuries of harsh winters and complex socio-political shifts. By embracing pashmina, you are participating in the highest tier of slow, sustainable fashion, an ecosystem that respects the animal, empowers the artisan, and fiercely rejects the disposable culture of modern retail. When you drape a genuine piece of soft gold over your shoulders, you're wearing history, geography, and hundreds of hours of human dedication. Does knowing the painstaking human effort and history behind pashmina change how you value luxury fashion? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, especially if you have something particular in mind. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow we open a different page. Until then, Pratik out.